hello and welcome to the Cristina Kiss Astrology channel, where we explore the cosmic blueprint of your life through astrology. My name is Cristina Kiss, and if you're ready to decode planetary influences, uncover your soul's lessons, and align with your true purpose, then you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's astrological insights. So today we're going to talk about the things that could happen during a Mercury retrograde in Leo. We will start feeling this Mercury retrograde energy in Leo from 3rd of July, where it's the shadow phase, until 16th of July, where the shadow phase ends. Then the actual retrograde is between 17th of July and 11th of August. And then there's going to be a post shadow that is going to last until August 25th. So basically, we are in the energy of Mercury retrograde in Leo from July 3rd until August 25th. And we're going to look at the things that could happen during this Mercury retrograde in Leo in a moment. And before that, I wanted to say that this is by no means an extensive list. I just wanted to give you some things to be mindful of and to start viewing your world through the lens of astrology and planetary movements. Why? Because speaking from experience, when I know why things are happening, maybe it's a full moon, maybe it's a retrograde, I know that it's the universe's way of communicating with me that it's time to let go of some things. And that gives me a sense of peace that my world is not falling apart. I'm just being redirected, and not all the people, things, and places can come with me to the next level. So my aim with this video is to give you the same understanding that we've outgrown some stuff and it's time to let go. Okay, so here are the things that could happen during a Mercury retrograde in Leo. So we're going to be looking at this through 3 different lenses. We're going to look at it through the lens of Leo because that is where Mercury is and that is where it's going to retrograde. Then we're going to look at it through the lens of Gemini and then Virgo. Why Gemini and Virgo? Because Mercury runs both of those signs. And usually people tend to just talk about the Gemini side and completely ignore the Virgo side. Okay, so Leo is the voice, the stage, the inner child. So you suddenly remember a childhood moment where your voice was shut down and it hits deeper than expected. You rewatch an old video or reread an old post and think, wait, that was actually powerful. Why did I hide this? You feel the urge to apologize, not from shame, but because your heart finally fell open. You get deeply triggered when someone doesn't respond to your story, your message, or post the way you hoped. An old creative project, maybe a course, a poem, a performance, a brand idea, resurfaces and feels more aligned now than before. You find yourself craving verbal affection and praise more than usual, and feel low when it doesn't arrive. You accidentally text your ex, or they reappear out of nowhere, forcing a choice between closure and collapse. And I know that last time there was a Mercury retrograde, my ex-husband texted me, and it was quite interesting that he actually has some Virgo placements. So just so you know that might happen. You realize your branding sounds professional, but not powerful, and you want to infuse more of you into it. You experience a creative block, not because you're uninspired, but because you're scared it might be too much, too bold, or too honest. Now, if you're experiencing any of these, I've got 2 resources for you below. The first one is a YouTube video from our sister channel on spirituality and becoming limitless, where I walk you through the exact process that I use when life feels like it's falling apart. And the second one is a link to book a free 1-hour strategy call with me. And on this call, we're going to take the time to explore what's going on in your life and give you real clarity and how to move forward. And if it feels aligned for both of us, we can talk about what it would look like to continue the journey together. Now, the second lens is the lens of Gemini, and Gemini is the messenger, the mind, the social butterfly. So you might start a conversation, mid-sentence forget what you're saying, and then spiral into overthinking. A random DM or comment from someone you haven't spoken to in years sparks a major realization. For example, it was quite fascinating to see that this past 2 weeks, people have started coming up from nowhere. I haven't spoken to these people. One was almost 10 years ago, and this other person I haven't spoken to in quite some time. Now I know for sure that she is a Gemini sun, and I'm pretty sure that other person has some Virgo placements or something like that. But it was quite interesting to see that the people that tend to keep on popping up around this time where Mercury is in retrograde are either people with heavy Virgo or heavy Gemini placements, either the big three, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a lot of planets in the third house for Gemini, or the sixth house for Virgo. Okay, so just wanted you to know that might happen. You feel overwhelmed by ideas, and none of them seem complete enough to post or act on. You feel mentally scattered, bouncing between tasks and not completing anything. Your words come out sharper or messier than intended, especially in text or voice notes. You rethink a friendship, a collaboration based on a single comment, then later realize you misread it. You crave more mental stimulation, but also find yourself annoyed by surface level conversations. Your phone, emails, or calendar gets chaotic. There could be miscommunications, missed calls, reschedules. For example, I had someone book an appointment with me and I was not notified. And I hopped on like 15 minutes later when I actually saw that she was in there. And I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I did not receive a notification that we are going to have this call. Please go ahead and book another call. And she did. The other thing that could happen, your phone or your laptop could start to glitch. I literally was experiencing this as I was working on one of my websites. And some things happen that I've never seen before. I'm like, okay, I know this is Mercury retrograde. I'll just pick this up later on or find another way to do it. Your apps might be freezing or misfiring. Emails could be going to the wrong place or completely disappearing. Texts that don't send or send to the wrong person. So the other thing that happened with me in a Mercury retrograde is that I did a session with a client and I was doing this in person. So I had my little voice note that I wanted to send this person with the recording. I can tell you for the life of me, I could not send that recording. I tried every possible way to send that recording to him. It did not go through. However, the very next Mercury retrograde, when I went through one of the means that we communicate, and I saw that it delivered and it delivered it in its entirety. And I'm like, huh, this is quite interesting because it wouldn't deliver in the Mercury retrograde where we actually had the session. It delivered the next Mercury retrograde, which was quite fascinating. Pages might crash or posts might not load properly, or you might even have issues uploading your content. If you're a content creator, you might have issues with that. There might be travel hiccups, right? Gemini also rules short trips and movement. You catch yourself mirroring other people's voices instead of using your own. So if you're experiencing any of this, I generally recommend checking out the two resources I have linked in the description below. My life only started to shift when I allowed myself to receive support, and you don't have to navigate this alone. So again, I'm going to link below a video from our sister channel on spirituality and becoming limitless, where I walk you through the exact process that I use when things are falling apart in my life. And the second link is for a one-on-one strategy call with me. And on this call, we are going to take some time to explore what's going on in your life and give you real clarity on how to move forward. And if it feels aligned for both of us, then we can talk about how we can continue to work together on your journey. Now, the third lens we're going to look at is the lens of Virgo. Now, Virgo is the editor, the healer, the internal compass. So you reread an old journal and suddenly see the exact pattern you couldn't name before. You find typos in posts or offers that have been live for months and feel weirdly ashamed. You finally fix the broken thing in your business backend and feel lighter than expected. You feel a deep urge to clean, to organize, or edit your systems, content, or even your life. Another funny thing that happened with me is that I've never, ever in my life, actually, ever cleaned my trash cans. Ever. And I've had this trash can for the last 2 years or so. Well, yesterday it got soaked and it got cleaned. And I'm like, oh my God, Mercury retrograde. But because I know this, I can see the funny in it. Okay. So another thing that might happen is that you realize the version of you who created your current offer is not the version of you who's running your business now. A past client offer or idea returns, and you get the chance to complete or evolve it with integrity. You experience burnout and realize it's not from doing too much, but from doing things that no longer match your purpose. You become more aware of where you've been over explaining or over perfecting out of fear of judgment. A minor tech glitch or admin error creates a big emotional spiral. Virgo gets super activated on little details. And here are some bonus realizations for you. You realize that you've been speaking but not saying what you mean. Your inner child may show up in unexpected ways, demanding visibility, joy, or praise. Someone else's words pierce deeper than expected, revealing an old story still unhealed. A creative rebrand or new idea wants to come through, but it's waiting for you to clear out the old first. You feel unseen, and it stings. But it also points you to where you've been hiding in plain sight. So the key insight here, Leo says, use your voice and be seen. Gemini says, ask better questions. And Virgo says, refine until it rings true. Again, this isn't an extensive list, but I wanted to give you a solid overview of some of the key themes linked to this Mercury retrograde in Leo. I will be releasing 2 more videos soon. One where I share what to do and what not to do during this Mercury retrograde, and another one where I dive deeper into the nuances of this retrograde and specifically showing how it's showing up in my chart with Mercury retrograding through my 10th house in Leo and conjuncting my Leo midheaven. Now, you might think that there's no point in me watching that because you're already covering some of the stuff here, right? No, I'm not. That is going to be a completely separate video, and I'm going to release other things about it. Also, if you have a Leo on the 10th house and you have a Leo midheaven and your Mercury is going to be retrograding along those lines, I highly, but highly recommend that you're going to watch that video too. And I'll give you more insights and more context on specifically that. So that video will be coming out in a few days, so feel free to check the description link below to see if that is out, or look somewhere around the ending of this video and you're going to see that video pop up. And until then, I want to thank you for exploring the stars with me, as well as any downloads I might get in the moment and share with you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another cosmic update. The simple act of subscribing creates a transfer of energy, making it easier for me to connect with your unique vibration. Even if you don't leave a comment, this energy exchange helps me intuitively tune into the collective challenges that you might be facing and create content that speaks directly to your needs. Remember, there's no such thing as space or time in the 5D. This video has reached you at the perfect moment, exactly when your soul was ready to receive this information. Now, do you need help finding your astrological birth chart? It's okay. I have a video that shares with you exactly how to get your chart, and I will leave that link in the description below. Now, there's something very important here that you want to know about this. You will need your accurate birth time. Otherwise, you won't know the houses that the signs fall into, and you will only have half of your story. And if you're more curious about why birth time is so crucial, I highly recommend watching my video where I walk you through the reincarnation process and explain why our astrological birth chart is one of the most important tools for understanding your soul journey, and I'll leave a link below to that as well. Now, if you're ready to uncover exactly what you came here to do this lifetime, you can book a session with me, and I will leave the link to that below. Now, remember, again, you are going to need your accurate birth time before scheduling a call with me. So I highly recommend calling the hospital where you were born or researching how to obtain your birth time. Now, some states in the US provide a birth certificate with the recorded birth time, so be sure to check. And let's see if we are a match working together. I will leave a link to book a 1-hour free strategy call with me. And on this call, we'll take some time to explore what's going on in your life and give you real clarity on how to move forward. And again, if it's aligned and we resonate, we can discuss how we can move forward together. And now it's your turn. Leave me a comment below on how you notice this Mercury retrograde showing up in your life. Have any thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, trust the universe and keep looking up.